work that kind of comes your way. So, I mean, unless it's porn or a Twilight movie, because I have standards. But so when I got a call to be a featured extra in Rescue Me, I said yes, before the casting director could finish the fact that I would have a 6 a.m. call on Roosevelt Island in New York. So I'm not really sure if I have the best friends in the world or the craziest, because my friend Allison offered to go with me at 3 a.m. So we awoke at 2 a.m. and got in my little car and drove to the Hamilton train station and made our way to New York on what I can only imagine is the first train to actually go to New York of the day. So we get there and we get in with all the hustle and bustle of New York, and we walk down 34th Street to go to the subway. Now, I want to preface this by saying I go to New York a lot for work, but I never really take the subway because there's really only about 7 or 8 stations that have elevators in them. So I'm not really well versed on how subways work. So I was unaware that there's a northbound side and a southbound side. I just assumed that the train was going the way that I wanted it to go. Fun fact, the subway was not up to date on the Shannon train. So I got on the one going the opposite direction of Roosevelt Island. Awesome. So I was like, all right, no problem. I looked at the little map that was kind of peeled off at the top of the subway, and I was like, oh, look, there, the next station has an elevator. We'll just get off there, we'll go up the elevator, we'll make the crossover, and get on the train going the actual direction that we need to be going. No problem. So we get out, and we get to the elevator, and it's not working. And that was the last accessible station on the southbound side. So I'm like, oh crap. So we push the little button that's kind of next to the elevator, and it makes this horrible noise, and it connects us with a lady who I can really only describe that she applied for the job as the Wizard of Oz greeter, but didn't get it because she lacks a soul. She was horrible. So she was zero help. I'm not even sure that she knew who I was. I was like, I'm from the elevator, and she's like, I don't know what that is. So we were like, all right, crap. So we tried to devise a plan of how we could get my wheelchair up the stairs. And we see 2 police officer ladies on the opposite track. And so after like 14 minutes of us waving to them, they finally were like, okay. So they come over to our side, and they were just a joy to speak with. And when I say a joy, I mean I'd rather hit myself in the frying pan repeatedly than talk to them ever again. I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page, and you guys can let me know. A cop's job is to help people in need, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Same page. So we told them our situation and what we wanted to do, and they were like, yeah, we can't help you. That's not in our rules. And I was like, I'm sorry, what rules are you going by? Because last time I checked, that's your job. So anyway, I think they just really wanted to get back to not giving a fuck. So they were very good at that. So at that point, I am looking at all the corners in the subway, thinking about which one I wanted to live in. The 2 police officer ladies were talking behind my back, and Allison was having a panic attack on a bench. And all of a sudden, these 4 cops come walking down the stairs. And it was kind of like angels were singing, because they came over to us and they saw me like talking to hobos and Allison crying. And they were like, what's going on here? And we told them, and they were like, all right, well, after they hit the women police officers aside and like, you're wrong, they decided that they were going to take, Allison was going to carry me up the stairs, and they were going to carry my chair, which they did. They carried it up the stairs, and the only way I can compare it to is a Mentos commercial. So it kind of looked like the four guys were carrying a Volkswagen up the thing. I should carry Mentos now from now on, just in case it ever happens again, because it was the perfect moment. The Foo Fighters were playing on my iPod. So we finally get to the top, and we're like, yay, finally, I'm only an hour and a half late. So we walk across, and we get to the other elevator, and we go down, and it was a glass elevator, so we kind of watch it slowly go down, and 3 feet before it gets to the bottom, it stops. So at this point, I'm stuck in an elevator, stuck in a subway. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I was crying, and there was a mysterious liquid dripping from the ceiling, and it was really gross. And so we see all the hobos staring at us because it's a glass elevator, and they're like poking at it, like, hey, what's going on in there? And we don't know. So we call the lady with no soul again. She was not help, shocker. And the 4 police officers come down the stairs and see us stuck in the elevator, and they were like, really? This is happening right now? And we're like, we know. So they called the fire department, and 45 minutes later, the fire department comes in full uniform and with an axe. Yup, an axe. So finally they pry us out, and they didn't get to use the axe, although I thought that would have been way more fun. And really, I just kind of laughed at the whole irony of it, because I was going for a job at Rescue Me, and I was laughing when I got there and was like, guys, I am the best method actor of all time. Thank you so much.